So, who is Peter Newmark? Peter Newmark was a British translation scholar and one of the most influential figures in translation studies. He focused on practical translation techniques, especially how to balance literal meaning with reader impact. His most famous work is a textbook of translation, which is still widely used today. Newmark believed that translation is both an art and science. Because of that, translator must make careful decisions depending on the purpose of the text. Now, let's talk about Peter Newmark's theory. He introduced two main types of translation, semantic and communicative translation. Semantic translation focuses on staying close to the original text. It keeps the exact meaning and structure from the source language. Meanwhile, communicative translation is more flexible. It focuses on how the audience feels using natural and fluent language that sounds right in the target culture. In short, semantic is more loyal to the original, while communicative is more focused on the reader's understanding. Here is a summary of a different translation methods, from very literal to more creative ones. First, word for word. Each word is translated directly. For example, I love you becomes saya cinta kamu. Literal, still direct but follows grammar rules. He is reading a book becomes dia sedang membaca buku. Faithful, tries to be accurate, preserving cultural aspect. It is often used for poetry or formal text. Semantic, keeps the meaning but adjusts for smoother flow. For example, time flies when you're having fun. Becomes waktu berlalu cepat saat kamu bersenang-senang. Communicative focuses more on the message than the word, like break a leg translated to semoga sukses. Idiomatic uses natural expression in the target language. He gave her the cold shoulder, becomes dia bersikap cuek padanya. And then free, just delivers the idea, not word for word. For example, he lost everything, becomes hidupnya hancur total. Adaptation rewrites content to suit cultural or creative context, like the nursery rhyme, Twinkle, twinkle, little star, adapted as bintang kecil di langit yang biru. Something like that.
Okay, so for the first example here, a song titled Ronan by Taylor Swift. The search text, I remember the drive home when blind hope turned to crying and screaming why. The translation text, aku ingat perjalanan pulang saat harapan palsu berubah menjadi tangisan dan teriakan kenapa. The phrase blind hope becomes harapan palsu shows that the translation used a communicative translation and semantic method. A more direct translation would be harapan buta, but that sounds unnatural in Indonesian. Harapan palsu or false hope still shows the same feeling and meaning from the original, making sure the listener or the reader understand the message clearly. And then the line crying and screaming why is translated as tangisan and teriakan kenapa. The word kenapa means why, gives the strong feeling of Taylor's sadness and confusion. The translator made sure the emotion stayed the same, even though the exact word changed a bit.
Move on to the next example. So, I took one of the lines that I thought was from a song, but it turns out to be a dialogue between Tony Stark and his daughter in Avengers Endgame. So the source text is I love you 3000 and the target text is aku menyayangimu sampai tak terhingga. If you translate I love you 3000 to aku menyayangimu 3000, it sounds weird. But if you translate I love you 3000 to aku menyayangimu sampai tak terhingga, it feels more emotional. So here I use free method where a text will be translated into something general, not the exact word. And yeah, it feels more emotional. Maybe his daughter used the number 3000 to shows affection in a hyperbolic version.
In the last example, we meet Maudy Ayunda.
She sang the Indonesian version of How Far I'll Go. The source text is "See the line where the sky meets the sea, it calls me," and the target text or TT is "Horizon seakan memanggil diriku." The line where the sky meets the sea is changed to just one word, horizon, to maintain the musicality of the song and also to show a more flexible word choice. And it calls me translated into seakan memanggil diriku with adding the word seakan to give a poetic effect. The adaptation method was used in this example to make the song suitable for the local and suitable for culture.
Okay, so the conclusion is Newmark translation theory explains that translators need to find a balance between staying true to the original text and making the message clear and natural for the reader. He introduced two main types: semantic translation, which keeps the meaning and structure close to the original, and communicative translation, which focuses on making the message sound natural and easy to understand in the target language. The 8 translation methods from word for word to adaptation give translators different ways to do this, depending on the type of the text and the reader's needs. The example from Taylor Swift's song Ronan, the movie Avengers Endgame, and the music video Seberapa Jauh Ku Melangkah show how using translation methods can keep both the meaning and the feeling of the original text. These examples show that good translation is not just about words, but it also about sharing the same feeling and message in another language. Newmark's idea helped translators make smart choices so the final result still feels meaningful and beautiful.